Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm really excited to be showing you guys how to connect all of the Diagon Alley Lego sets together. Gringotts just came out on September 1st. I finally have it reunited with my other Diagon Alley buildings, and I can't wait to put them all together and try a bunch of crazy combinations. Lego Harry Potter is my favorite Lego theme, and Diagon Alley is just an incredible two sets now, and it fills me with so much joy. The original set from 2020, which is the four buildings around Gringotts, and also the Gringotts set, which I just recently reviewed on my channel. They are just the ultimate Lego sets. They have so much love and attention to detail poured into them, and I'm just like bursting with excitement to just see them all sitting here like this. I can't even imagine how I'm going to feel once I start connecting them. I want to remind you guys that I am an employee of the LEGO Group. However, all opinions expressed in these videos are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the LEGO Group. And LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group of companies, which does not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. So really quick before we get into actually connecting the buildings, on the left we have Ollivanders and Scribulus. Then we have Quality Quidditch Supplies and the Daily Prophet. In the center, we have Gringotts Wizarding Bank and the Magical Menagerie. Then all the way at the back over there, we have Flourish and Blots and Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor. That's my least favorite one. That's why it's the hardest to see. And then last but not least, we have Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is, well, it was until Gringotts came out, the single largest building in Diagon Alley. I love how we have the main shops that we know, and then we also get smaller ones like Scribulus and the Magical Menagerie. Honestly, I really hope we see another Diagon Alley set in the future, but I don't think we will because all of the iconic locations have now been covered. So you may see some minifigures that aren't included in these two sets. That's because I've supplemented some of the scenes with some minifigures from other sets. And I did want to point out that I said the four buildings around Gringotts are their own set. That is 75978 Diagon Alley, released in 2020. Retailed for $400 back then in the US. Now it retails for $450. And then in the center, Gringotts Wizarding Bank Collector's Edition retails for $430 US, but you aren't seeing the giant underground cavern vault system that came with it. I didn't bring it into this video because there's just no way to display Diagon Alley with that cave system unless you build like a custom table where you can have the vaults underneath while everything else is on the same level, which I hope to do one day, like when I'm a real adult and can maybe afford to buy some custom furniture. But to start off with, I'm going to make Lego's official recommended connection. The first one will be from the lifestyle photos, and then the second one will be like a weird little angled thing. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So here's the combination that's shown in the lifestyle photos for the press release of Gringotts Wizarding Bank. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm having a lot of mixed emotions. So I didn't like it in the lifestyle photos because yeah, Gringotts Wizarding Bank is the center of Diagon Alley. Also, I don't know why I'm saying the full name every time. Gringotts is the center of Diagon Alley, but not like this. I don't like the idea of this. Diagon Alley is supposed to have like rows of buildings on either side, right? Because it's an alleyway. In Lego form, you can do that, and I will be doing that later in this video, but it's not really conducive to display. It's conducive to taking really nice pictures, but for a display, you kind of want everything in a line. And Gringotts being in the middle of the line, I don't love because it should be at one end of the alley. I also think it's really interesting how Gringotts has so many different connection points, and they don't all match up with where the connection points are on modular buildings. So the side that adjoins Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor, this side is modular compatible, but nothing else is modular compatible with two pins. You can see a Technic pin at the base there, and then obviously it's connected to Quality Quidditch Supplies as well. But there's two different connection options for Quality Quidditch Supplies. I chose the one that's a little bit further back just so the pavement would line up, but you can bring it forward a little bit more. But I don't like that because it kind of just sinks the Magical Menagerie back into shadow. So the different options are really interesting, and Gringotts is, I think, the only modular compatible Lego set that has ever been able to connect on all 4 points. So you can connect stuff to the back of Gringotts, you can connect it to the front, and as you're seeing right now, you can connect it to either side. So I want to play around with all of those different options, although I don't think I'm going to like the back connection option. But the point of that is that Ollivanders and Quality Quidditch Supplies are kind of flush against my wall right now, whereas Flourish and Blots and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes are pulled forward. So it kind of changes up the depth of the alley because Gringotts is on a full base plate, whereas everything else is a half base plate. And I don't know how I feel about that as well, because I kind of prefer everything to be on the same plane of existence with just Gringotts sticking out because it's the biggest. So this is an interesting look. It's just not for me. We'll do a quick close up of like the areas that are going to change. So right here, this is where Flourish, or not Flourish, Quality Quidditch Supplies meets the Magical Menagerie. You can see the Magical Menagerie is sticking out a little bit right now, but what I was saying is that you can actually take it off and then connect it up here. And that's just what I don't love because I mean, actually, it doesn't look that bad, but I just feel like the Magical Menagerie gets a little bit forgotten back there, and then I feel bad for it. And then moving over to the right, with this configuration, Gringotts' little... No, I don't think the Death Eater should be in plain sight. Maybe I should pose that minifigure somewhere else. But Gringotts' little archway, to me, that's like an exit from Diagon Alley. That looks like it maybe might lead to Nocturne Alley or something like that. But in this case, it just leads to more of Diagon Alley. So then I think it's kind of strange to have that much separation because, like, why is the ice cream parlor behind a wall? You know, like, why does it need to be guarded from everything else? So that's also why I don't love this one because this is a very final wall. And because Gringotts is usually at the end of the alley, that is like an exit from Diagon Alley. So yeah, I just don't love how closed off it makes Florian Fortescue's place feel because his ice cream restaurant should feel open and airy. You know, you have the outdoor seating, you have the nice striped awning. It feels really strange to be like shoved up against a wall like that. But yeah, like the connection between Weasley's Wizard Wheezes and Flourish and Blots is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I do want to call out this little display that I set up though. I really love having Lockhart signing books there, and then I threw in Rita Skeeter from the recent character encyclopedia like she's reporting on the event, and I think that that's my favorite little character display in the entire alley. Now we've entered some very interesting territory. So this is LEGO's second recommended connection method, the one shown on the box and in the instruction manual for Gringotts. And this gives you more of the alleyway feel, but it's a really wide alleyway. In fact, the alleyway is so wide that it's coming off my desk, as you can see. My desk is not deep enough to sustain this connection method. This is a little bit more architecturally accurate to the quote-unquote real Gringotts. You know, if you go to Universal Studios or the Warner Brothers studio tour in London, which I have been to, and I have been to Universal, but that was before Diagon Alley was added. I really want to go there, though, after looking at these LEGO sets all together. So Ollivanders is supposed to be, like, to Gringotts' right when you're looking at Gringotts from the end of the alley, so that's accurate. But according to the studio tour in London, Quality Quidditch Supplies should be on the other side, and then both Flourish and Blots and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes should be on the same side as Ollivanders. So I don't think that's exactly going to work in LEGO form, but when I do my combinations, that's what I'm going to be trying out. And I mean, this is cool, but to me, it's just way too big. Like, I would never display Diagon Alley like this, even if I had the room for it, because it's just way too wide and deep. It takes up too much space and it leaves too much like empty space in the middle. You can get a very similar effect if the whole thing is just like a line on a shelf, at least in my opinion. This is neat for play, but I don't think that it's like really sustainable for display. I also really don't like Weasley's Wizard Wheezes being all the way at the end over here. It shouldn't be facing outwards like this. Like, this area is supposed to face, like, inwards towards more buildings in Diagon Alley, and so I really don't like the way it's staring at me, like, with all of the windows and, like, the face of the Weasley twin. So I'm definitely going to be switching that around, but Flourish and Blots does match with the sand green accents on the second floor of the Magical Menagerie, so that's nice at least. I also just don't love how forward Ollivanders is. There's no way to set it further back, and I didn't think that it would bother me, but the way it's like casting the exit from the alley like all the way into shadow, I mean, it makes sense because that's the exit, but I don't know, it's just like something about it I don't love. So I think I'm going to try this diagonal method, but I'm going to put my own sets in, and then I'm going to go back to like trying to do a line. Okay, I'm liking this combo a lot more for the diagonal method. I put Quality Quidditch Supplies on the other side of Flourish and Blots, and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, that's what it's called, on the other side of Ollivander's, and I do like the way it's looking now. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes is facing the right way. Flourish and Blotts looks good on the end. I also tried it directly next to Gringotts, but then again, it just overwhelms the magical menagerie, and I think it's much better this way. But you do have like a nice sand green line going through that side, which I do kind of love. So yeah, with this method, I could see myself liking diagonal a little bit more, but still not enough to actually display it. So let's go ahead and move on to trying to get things more in a line. And I actually have a fun idea of trying to align this like the micro scale Lego Harry Potter Diagon Alley gift with purchase set from 2018, because we finally have every single building from that set represented in minifigure compatible scale. Okay, so this is not exactly the configuration of buildings that was shown in that gift with purchase set, but this is how I was planning to display my alley. We have Gringotts at the end of the alley, as it should be. Then we have Ollivander's, Quality Quidditch Supplies, Flourish and Blotts, and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. So this follows basically the outline, like the arrangement that LEGO suggested for the 2020 set, and then just tacking Gringotts onto the left end. This is how I was planning to display these sets on my shelf. I'm extremely happy with this. This looks freaking beautiful. Like, this is what I have been waiting for since Diagon Alley came out in 2020. Gringotts is standing on its own at the end of the alley with a tiny little building on the side of it, so I feel like that kind of suggests that more alley could be continuing out this way. And to me, this view is like there should be more buildings right there, but you don't see any of them because you're looking at the alley. You know, it's kind of like when Lego sets like these have open backs, it's like you're not seeing the stairs because your perspective is where the stairs would be. That's how I feel looking at this configuration. So walking up the alley, we'll pretend like you enter from the Leaky Cauldron, which is by Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, then you pass Flourish and Blotts, then you pass Quality Quidditch Supplies, then Scribulus and Ollivander's, and then you reach Gringotts. And, oops, you're seeing the corner of my microphone stand there. Sorry about that. And you can also see the Eiffel Tower in the background of this whole video, but it can't move because that's its permanent display spot. But this looks really perfect to me. Like, I'm very happy with this. I love the corner with Ollivander's. This is more what I was expecting. When it was diagonal, I didn't like the gap between Gringotts and Ollivander's that much. But now that, you know, everything is kind of just in a line and not diagonal, I do really like that exit. And you can see I've had Griphook posed there since 2020. Waiting for the day when we would get a Gringotts set, because I knew that I'd put Gringotts on this end of Ollivander's, so I wanted him to be around the bank. But yeah, I really love this street configuration. I am just going to do a test with the gift with purchase before I put this into alley configuration, and that's to swap Quality Quidditch Supplies and Flourish and Blotts. So here is Diagon Alley in the configuration of the gift with purchase set from 2018. I am going to be doing a comparison with Diagon Alley, including this gift with purchase and the 2011 set and the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes set from summer 2023. Hopefully soon, but I'm leaving for the airport in like 5 hours, and I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to film the comparison before I go. So you might be waiting until Christmas time for that one. But this gift with purchase was amazing in 2018. Unfortunately, Gringotts yellowed a little bit. I hate yellowed Lego bricks, but luckily I don't have too many of them. But it's just so thrilling to finally be able to do this in minifigure compatible form. Again, because I don't think these buildings are really minifigure scale. They definitely aren't. But yeah, this is just beautiful. You know, you've got Gringotts on the end. Let me zoom in a little bit. You have Gringotts on the end, then you go into Ollivander's, Flourish and Blotts, Quality Quidditch Supplies, and then Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. However, I don't like this as much as the combination that I just did, because Quality Quidditch Supplies and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes are basically the same height, and they're very similar colors because you have pink and you have purple. I mean, similar as in they're very bright and they stand out a lot. And then you have more muted colors on smaller buildings with Ollivander's and Flourish and Blotts. So I just don't love like the rise and fall of Diagon Alley. To borrow a term I was using in my recent Hogwarts comparison video, I don't love going flat and then up. So, and I also don't love going muted earth tones and then bright colors with pink and purple and orange. So I think having Quality Quidditch Supplies in between Ollivander's and Flourish and Blotts is the way to go. Okay, so this is what I call alleyway form. It's where you face both sides of the street together to actually get a proper Diagon Alley. This is going to be really hard to film, but I just wanted to show you what the general setup looks like. Obviously, this is not the view that you want to have because you're just seeing the inside of a bunch of shops, but I'm going to try to take you in diagonally from the side and see if it's any better. So the reason why I love this view so much is because it puts you at a minifigure's perspective and it really makes you feel like you're in the alley. This is kind of a strange way to film, but here I'm going to take you panning up through so you can see just how amazing it looks when all of these buildings are clustered together and you have Gringotts rising above it all at the end. And honestly, this is an instance where the Eiffel Tower actually kind of works because you could just pretend that Diagon Alley has been put into Paris instead of London, and I kind of like it being there in the background. But this is really what I wanted. I wanted this view down the alley with Gringotts all the way at the end. It looks gorgeous. I love all of the signage that you can see. You know, you've got the Flourish and Blot sign. You have all of the minifigures crowding the streets. It's just so fun and inviting and just gorgeous. It's just really hard to display like this. Like I said, this is better for pictures, and I guess I'm making it work on video. But in general, it's just impossible to display like this because you're never going to have a shelf deep enough where you can just be at eye level to gaze straight down the alleyway. The buildings are clustered super close together, but I hope the higher vantage point is letting you see a little bit more of the roofs and the signs, and there is more of the Eiffel Tower as well. But yeah, it's just the tight, close quarters of this kind of display is really what Diagon Alley is all about. And I've gone ahead and removed the two buildings on the end so that we can get a little bit nicer of a look into the alley down here. Here you can really see the Ollivander sign and the Quality Quidditch Supplies sign. You've got more people milling in the streets. I added some civilians from like an accessory pack set from I think 2021. And I think that, you know, they do really help add some life to the street. And then all the way up at the top, you can, of course, see Gringotts back there. And that's what it's all about. Gringotts being back there, towering above everything else, is what I wanted. Like this look, this picture of having the alley with the bank at the end, that's what it's all about for me as a Lego Harry Potter collector. So I'm just really happy that we finally got it. And I'm happy that I managed to make filming this really weird setup work because I think that this is just a look that every Lego Harry Potter fan with Diagon Alley needs to put together at least once. Thank you so much for watching. I had a blast putting this video together. I just love this Diagon Alley display so much. I recently filmed a Ninjago City Markets unboxing, and I said that Ninjago City was like the single greatest Lego display I have because all of those sets just fit together so well. But honestly, Diagon Alley gives it a run for its money. Ninjago City has a lot more going on, but Diagon Alley is just so amazing. I love the way that the Harry Potter designers have managed to bring this street to life. I really hope we see more Diagon Alley sets in the future. I want Madame Malkin's, I want the Leaky Cauldron, but those are nowhere near as iconic as Ollivander's and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes and Gringotts. So I think this might be it for now, which is probably good for my Lego collection because my shelf can't hold any more Diagon Alley sets. Let me know which combination was you guys' favorite and if you're planning on getting both of these sets because I really think it's worth it if you're a big Harry Potter fan like I am. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys in more videos soon. Bye for now.